Mr. Pine lived on Vine Street in a little white house. A white house is fine, said Mr. Pine, but there are 50 white houses all in a line on Vine Street. How can I tell which one is mine?
Mr. Pine lives on Vine, 50 houses in a line, all are white, what a sight, Mr. Pine.
He looked up and down the street. I know, said Mr. Pine. I will plant a tree, a little pine tree by my house. Pine tree, Pine's house. See, that's me. That's what I will do, he said. And that is what he did. Mr. Gold lived next door to Mr. Pine.
What a very nice tree,
said Mr. Gold. Mrs. Green lived next door to Mr. Gold.
What a very nice tree,
said Mrs. Green. Mrs. Brown lived next door to Mrs. Green.
very nice little tree.
said Mrs. Brown. The next day, Mr. Pine looked out his window. He wanted to see his little pine tree. But what did he see? He saw 50 white houses all in a line, and there was a little pine tree by each house.
Oh no,
said Mr. Pine. Now how can I tell which house is mine?
Mr. Pine lives on Vine, 50 pine trees in a line, all are green, what a scene, Mr. Pine.
He looked up and down the street again. I know, said Mr. Pine. I will plant a big bush next to the little pine tree. Big bush. Pine tree. Pine's house. See, that's me. And he did. First he dug a hole. And then he planted a bush. There, said Mr. Pine, that looks just fine. Mr. Gold said,
what a very nice bush,
said Mr. Gold,
What a very little nice bush.
said Mrs. Green,
What a nice little bush.
said Mrs. Brown. The next morning, Mr. Pine looked out his window. He wanted to see his big bush by his little pine tree. But what did he see? There were 50 white houses all in a line. There were 50 little green trees, all of them pine, and next to each tree, there was a big bush.
Mr. Pine tried so hard, tree and bush in every yard. What to do is he threw Mr. Pine. Oh no,
Said Mr. Pine.
all the houses still look the same.
Mr. Pine thought and thought. I know, said Mr. Pine. I will paint my house. He thought some more. Let me see, he said red, yellow, orange, blue, green, pink. Let me see, I know, I will paint my house.
Purple.
Then off he went to get the paint. I want to buy some paint, said Mr. Pine to Mr. Dash. I want to paint my house.
Purple.
Purple, asked Mr. Dash.
Purple.
Said Mr. Pine. Green is very nice, said Mr. Dash.
No.
Said Mr. Pine. Red is very nice, said Mr. Dash.
No.
Said Mr. Pine. White is very, very nice.
No. I want purple paint.
Purple paint, said Mr. Dash. Think of that. For your house, you will need 9 big cans of purple paint. I I will need some brushes too, said Mr. Pine, and putty, and sandpaper. And then I need something to mix the paint and clean the brushes. And I need some paint thinner. Mr. Pine put everything into his truck. Back he went to Vine Street. He put his tall ladder here, and his little ladder there. I have things to do before I paint, said Mr. Pine. Mix and mix. Fill this, and sweep this. Mix, mix, mix. Now the paint is just right. Now I can paint. Then Mr. Pine went up the ladder to the very, very top of the house. He began to paint. Swish, 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 swish. Some boys were playing ball in the street, but Mr. Pine did not see them. A boy hit the ball. Up went the ball. Up, up, up. It was a home run. Look out, Mr. Pine. Look out, the boys called. Then Mr. Pine did not hear them. Down came the ball. Down came the ball on Mr. Pine's hat. Pow! Down came the brushes. Down came the purple paint. Down came Mr. Pine. Now I have to get more paint, said Mr. Pine. And he went to the ladder again. Swish, swish with his brush. Swish, swish, swish. Then Mr. Gold's cat ran up to the ladder. Mr. Pine's dog ran after the little cat. Round and round they ran. The little cat ran up the ladder, but Mr. Pine did not see her. Mr. Pine came down the ladder, down on the little cat's foot. Down came the cat, down came the brushes, down came the ladder, down came the paint. Down came Mr. Pine. Wow. Now Mr. Pine had purple grass, a purple cat, a purple dog, a purple hat, and a purple nose. Now I have to get more purple paint, said Mr. Pine. Up the ladder he went again. Swish, swish. Mr. Pine painted and painted until the house was all purple. Everybody on Vine Street came to look at Mr. Pine's purple house. No one had ever seen a purple house before. Mr. Gold said,
What a very nice purple house. I like to paint my house.
Mrs. Brown said, and Mr. Pine said,
No, no, not 50 purple, as it's all in the line.
but I will paint my house pink, said Mrs. Green. And yellow for me, said Mrs. Brown. And white for me, said Mr. Gold. Now there are 50 houses on Vine Street. There are red houses and green houses and brown houses. There are yellow and pink houses. And there are some white houses too. But there is just one purple house on Vine Street.
Mr. Pine lives on Vine, 50 houses in a line. Yellow, blue,